Welcome back to GameVault HQ. Picture this. You wake up in a strange world, where reality is just a little off-kilter. The air seems to buzz with secrets, and everyone you meet seems to know more than they're letting on. If that grabs your curiosity, then let me introduce you to Phoenix Springs, a game that practically oozes mystery, intrigue, and a touch of noir that we can't get enough of. Phoenix Springs is an adventure game that comes packed with a heavy dose of old-school charm. It's one of those stories that feels like a mix between a classic detective movie and a bizarre fever dream. Developed by Calligram Studio, it takes us on a narrative journey that begins with Iris, the protagonist, receiving a strange videotape. It's got that VHS-era grain and a haunting message from her brother, who's been missing for years. From that moment, you're thrust into an eerie journey, trying to piece together what's happened while uncovering a shadowy community filled with people who've got their own baggage to carry. The art style in Phoenix Springs instantly sets the mood. We're talking about a vibrant but washed-out palette, giving off vibes of an endless summer where the sun's just a little too bright and something sinister seems to be lurking behind every smile. The environments, while not massive, are rich in detail. Each screen almost looks like a beautifully illustrated graphic novel panel. You'll find yourself stopping just to soak in all the small, seemingly inconsequential elements of the world. And that's part of the charm. It's simple, but incredibly effective. Gameplay-wise, Phoenix Springs follows the point-and-click tradition. You'll interact with various characters, gather items, and piece clues together. At its core, it's about exploration and dialogue, and while it doesn't break any new ground with its mechanics, it's the way the story is told that keeps you coming back. The puzzles themselves aren't overly challenging, which might disappoint players who want something more cerebral. However, some puzzles can be frustrating due to the lack of a user interface, which forces players to pixel hunt for interactive elements. Additionally, the hint system, while helpful, can sometimes be overly revealing, taking away the satisfaction of figuring things out on your own. But for those who value atmosphere and character, the game has you covered. The cast of characters here is worth a mention. You've got the enigmatic cult leader type, the lost souls, and people who make you question what they're really hiding. Iris, who's been estranged from her brother and trying to make sense of his cryptic message, is an interesting lens to see it all through. She's skeptical, unsure of what's real and what's a con, a perfect match for the twisted tale that unfolds. And while not every character is fleshed out to perfection, the overall impression is one of a community that feels lived in. The sense of unease is present in almost every interaction. You can never quite tell if you're speaking with a friend or someone who's ready to lead you deeper into the rabbit hole. Music and sound design deserve their own spotlight here. Phoenix Springs wouldn't be half as captivating without the haunting soundtrack that backs it up. The minimalist approach works well, with eerie, almost hypnotic tracks that swell in the background at just the right moments. And the voice acting, it's one of those cases where less is more. The sparse dialogue exchanges give you enough to paint a picture, but not so much that it kills the intrigue. The feeling that you're a stranger peering into a well-established and strange community never really leaves you. And the sound design plays a significant role in sustaining that vibe. Now, Phoenix Springs isn't a game for everyone. If you're someone who prefers fast-paced action or demands complex mechanics, you might find it slow. The emphasis here is clearly on atmosphere and story rather than gameplay innovation. And some players might find the pacing a bit uneven. There are times where it feels like you're walking in circles, trying to get a character to open up or waiting for that aha moment. That said, the payoff of piecing everything together in such a strange, uneasy setting is incredibly satisfying for those who love the detective noir genre. Despite the deliberate pacing, Phoenix Springs nails that indie adventure aesthetic we've come to appreciate over the years. It wears its inspiration on its sleeve, and if you love titles like Kentucky Route Zero or Gemini Rue, you'll feel right at home. It's not about reinventing the wheel. It's about presenting a story that sticks with you, even if you're not quite sure why. It's the kind of game that when you're done, you're left wanting to talk about it. to dig a little deeper into what you experienced. So, where does that leave us? Phoenix Springs is a beautifully strange game that sets out to create an atmosphere dripping with mystery, and it delivers in spades. Its characters are memorable, the story is haunting, and it's got an aesthetic that pulls you right in. If you're in the mood for something eerie and contemplative, something that takes you on a journey more about the unsettling experience rather than the destination, this might just be the game for you. We give Phoenix Springs a solid 8 out of 10. It's a trip worth taking, as long as you're ready to embrace the strange. If you enjoyed this review, make sure to hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more indie game coverage and reviews. Drop us a comment below if you've played Phoenix Springs. We'd love to hear your take on it. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.